All right, let's get right into it. When I say the words punk rock, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's a pretty specific look, right?
Yeah, you're probably picturing some really loud, fast music, maybe some spiky hair. And look, you're not wrong, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's like judging a book by its cover, and trust me, there's so much more inside.
See, the thing is, punk is way more than just a style of music. It's an idea, a whole philosophy, really. It's a way of seeing the world that totally kicked off a creative revolution. So let's dig in and figure out what that actually means.
Okay, first up, more than just noise. We've got to start with the music itself, the sound and the spark. Where did this music even come from, and why did it explode the way it did? So picture this. It's the mid-1970s. Rock music is getting kind of bloated. You've got these super long, complicated songs, epic guitar solos, massive stadium concerts. And a lot of young people were just like, this isn't for me. They felt totally left out. So in places like New York City and London, they decided to create something new, something raw, something honest, and something anyone could pick up and play.
So what are we actually hearing when we listen to punk? Well, it's all about pure, raw energy. You've got these fast, driving drum beats, electric guitars that sound fuzzy and distorted, and vocals that are all about shouting with passion, not hitting every note perfectly. It was never about being technically amazing, it was about feeling something. And get this, while other bands were making these 10-minute-long songs, a typical punk song was just 3 minutes. 3. They were like these short, sharp bursts of energy. The whole idea was get in, say what you need to say, and get out. No messing around. All right, now we're getting to what might be the most important part of this whole thing. It's a single idea that changed everything for artists and creators. I'm talking about the do-it-yourself rulebook, or what everyone calls DIY.
So, what is DIY? It's pretty simple, actually. It's the belief that you don't have to wait around for some big company to give you permission to create something. It was this incredibly empowering message that basically told a whole generation, hey, you have an idea, a song, a story, great, go make it yourself, now.
And this wasn't just some abstract idea. It was a hands-on guide. Bands were literally recording music in their basements with whatever gear they could find. They were making their own little magazines called fanzines on photocopiers, screen printing their own t-shirts, and then selling it all themselves at their shows. They built their own world from the ground up. Okay, so once you start thinking that way, that you can do things yourself, it doesn't just stop with music. That independent spirit starts to bleed into everything. It makes you start questioning, well, everything. The status quo, the people in charge, the whole system. There's a term for this, anti-establishment. And it's not just about being angry or negative all the time. It's about thinking critically. It's about looking at the big institutions, like corporations or governments, and asking, wait, is what they're telling me actually true? It's about finding your own truth.
You can really see the two different ways of thinking here. Mainstream society often tells you, follow the rules, fit in. But the punk philosophy, it's the total opposite. It's all about make your own rules, stand out. It's about being independent and expressing something raw and honest, not something polished and perfect.
And that's why the lyrics in punk songs are so blunt and to the point. They're not singing about fantasy worlds. They're talking about real life. They're tackling tough subjects, social problems, unfairness, things they saw happening in the world. The music was a wake-up call. All right, this all leads us to another huge piece of the puzzle. This idea of being uniquely yourself. It's all about individuality and staying true. Think about it. We live in a world that's always telling us to fit in, right? Well, punk's message was the exact opposite. It says the goal isn't to fit in, it's to stand out. The things that make you different, that's your superpower. And it created this incredible community for people who felt like they didn't fit in anywhere else. The key word here is authenticity. It just means being real, being honest. It means what you create and how you live your life actually lines up with what you believe, not just putting on a show to be popular or sell something. And that brings us to the absolute worst thing you could be called in the punk scene, a sellout. A sellout is someone who abandons their message and their beliefs just for money or fame. In punk, being true to what you stand for, that's everything. It's the whole point. So, this all kicked off nearly 50 years ago. You might be wondering, does any of this still matter? And the answer is,
100% yes. Punk's lasting echo is all around us, often in ways we don't even realize. Just look at fashion, from rebellion to the runway. Think about leather jackets, ripped jeans, heavy boots, even using safety pins as accessories. All of that came from punk. It's gone from the straight to high fashion, but that original idea is still there. Your style is how you express yourself. It's not about the brand name on your shirt. And make no mistake, this isn't just an American or British thing. Punk has become a global voice. You'll find thriving punk scenes all over the world, in South America, in Asia, in Eastern Europe. People everywhere have taken that core punk spirit and used it to talk about their own challenges and fight for what they believe in.
That spirit is definitely not a thing of the past. It's alive and kicking right now. Today, you have new bands and activists using those same punk ideas. Do it yourself, be authentic, question things, to speak out about modern problems like climate change and social injustice. The technology might be different, but that core energy, it's exactly the same. When you boil it all down, punk rock proved one thing. You don't have to be rich or famous to have a voice that matters. All you really need is something to say, the passion to say it, and the guts to just do it yourself. So I guess that leaves us with one final thought. If punk is a voice for the unheard, what would you speak up about?